Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well, and I am so excited for today's video because today we're going to be looking at my biggest sales of all time. We're going to look at, since I first started reselling, where I was not making the biggest sales of my life, but I went full-time in July 2021, and since then I've had a lot of amazing sales as I've learned more and more about reselling, about what sells, about different brands, and I'm excited to share all of that information with you guys. If you are a casual reseller, hopefully this will help you. If you are a full-time reseller, maybe you know some of these things, but I'm going to show you guys the brands that have actually sold for me. And all of these things sold for over $100. So we're gonna look at my biggest sales of all time. And I know that sometimes that can feel a little bit unattainable to find something that's going to resell for hundreds of dollars. But I want to say that every single piece that I'm gonna talk about today, I have found while out thrifting. Whether at a Goodwill, a Salvation Army, the bins, or sometimes at a consignment store, all of these pieces are things that I physically found in person, and I did not buy any of them online. I think there's only one item on this list that I bought from an actual kind of retail store. So this is very achievable. Depending on where you live in the country, you can do this too. And I understand that location has to deal with a lot of this as well, but I do want to say that it is possible to find amazing pieces from thrift stores, from the bins, that can resell for hundreds of dollars. And if I can do it, then so can you. So let's look at my biggest sales of all time. We're gonna look at everything that sold for over $100 on my Mercari, my Poshmark, and then we're gonna go up in value. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm so excited to share this with you. I did have a few sales on eBay as well, but we're just looking at clothing mostly today. So let's jump into this video. And if you're excited to see these sales, then give today's video a thumbs up. And if you are not already subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button to see more what's sold, more brands to be on the lookout for, and more fun thrifting content. So with no further ado, let's jump into the video. Okay, I scooted over so you can have the pictures on the screen, but we have about 20 items to get through. Number 21 is this Tory Burch mini Alexa bag in brown leather. I found this at a Plato's Closet in Indiana. So this just shows that you can find really expensive items even in places like the Midwest, where sometimes people think that you can't. And this was a $110 sale. We made $88 after Poshmark took its fees. Unfortunately, this bag sold twice. It sold for $200 the first time, and then it just sat for so long after that that I just accepted a $110 offer. Nothing was wrong with it. I feel like the case review was really interesting on this, but we still made $110 on that sale, so I'm happy with that. And I believe I paid like $10 for that bag at the thrift, so that was a great find. Then number 20 comes in at selling at $110.98. It sold in a bundle, and this was a beautiful Linda Lundstrom wool blend long floral pattern reversible coat in size extra large, and it also had wool in it. This is something I found in the bins. So the bins, if you're not familiar with them, you're digging through bins of items just that are either donated or overstock from Goodwill. It's a Goodwill outlet, and you pay per pound for items. So this is a piece that I would say, I don't know if I'd pick it up again based on the brand. I totally could, but I picked it up based on the style. I thought it was so cool. It was a nice wool blend coat. It was reversible. It had a beautiful floral pattern on it, and it was in a size extra large. It had wool in it. It was a gorgeous piece. I probably paid $2 or $3 for that in the bins. So not a bad pickup. The bins you pay per pound and not per item. And we made $86.03 at the end of the day from that. So that was a great pickup. Next up, number 19 is one of my favorite brands to resell. It is Eileen Fisher. It's an Italian wool blend pant set. Could not find any stock photos of this anywhere, but this is another bins pickup. So I found these in the bins, I believe in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I stopped there on my way home to Indiana to visit my parents, and I probably paid about $1 a piece there as well for this set. And again, Eileen Fisher can do really well, especially depending on the fabric makeup. This again was wool, so wool is cropping up again. But this sold for $114 for the pant and the top, both of which came from the bins. And then I made $89.70. So again, I find a lot of my amazing pieces based on the feel of them. That's how I find majority of the items that I resell. I can tell if something feels nice. So that's probably my biggest tip for you. If you have some nice items in your own closet, go and feel them. feel things that are wool, feel things that are cashmere, and just get your fingers familiar with really nice fabrics, because then it becomes a lot easier to find those things in the bins or even at a regular thrift store. Number 18 was this Rebecca Taylor black wash leather moto jacket. It was a size 6 in a lambskin leather. I sold it for $115 on Mercari, I believe. And so we made $99.86 from this sale, which was a great sale. I remember when I picked this up, some people were telling me not to pick it up because they don't think that Rebecca Taylor is a good brand. But I have some pretty good Rebecca Taylor sales, and I love finding leather jackets. Leather jackets can resell for a lot of good money, and if you're finding them in the bins, they are very affordable. So this is not from the bins. This was a Second Avenue pickup, but we sold it for $115. We made $99.86, so I made about $100 off of that jacket, and I believe I paid about $10 for it. Then this next sale was my first ever time finding Rothy's. Rothy's are a notorious brand in the reselling community, and some of them can sell for really good money. Some of them sell for like, $50 to $75. This pair that I found at a local Goodwill. I bought them for $7, and they were this retired loafer style, and they were in gray. I had offers on them within a few minutes on Poshmark and Mercari, but I accepted an offer on Mercari for $120, and we made $104.22 in like one day. So that was a great sale. I'm always on the lookout for Rothy's. I've only found one pair since this pair, and so 2 pairs in a full year of thrifting constantly is not that many. It's hard to find them. But they are a really good brand, and they're washable, they're sustainable. It's a great company. I like supporting them. So that was number 17. Now number 16 was this Veronica Beard Dakota Floral 100% Silk Ruched Mini Dress in a size 2. And this I found at a local thrift store, Second Avenue. And this was my first time ever finding Veronica Beard, which is a really good brand to know. They make some beautiful dresses. They also have shoes, I think, and they also make pants and jeans. I've only found Veronica Beard, I think, one time since I found this dress, and that is not sold yet. But this one was only up for like, I think, a week or two before it sold for $120. And so we made $96 off of that, and I believe I paid around $10 for that one as well. Now, number 15 is a piece that I picked up at a consignment store. So I picked it up at Buffalo Exchange. It was on sale. I believe I paid $10 or $15 for this, but it was this Lululemon Rain Rebel jacket in a dark olive green color in a size 4. And then it sold for $120, and we made $94.50. And that sold, I think, within a day or two. So Lululemon rain jackets are very popular. Lululemon jackets in general are pretty popular, but especially rain jackets or winter jackets, if you find them, it's worth paying up for, in my opinion. I would pay up to like probably $20 or $30 for a coat from Lululemon. Not too bad. And then we're going to see a trend. A lot of my biggest sales are going to be jackets or coats, because those are just more expensive pieces in general. So the next piece, number 14, is this Patagonia Women's Nano Air Hoodie in size medium. This one sold on Mercari. It was in black, and it sold for $130, and I made $112.93 from it. I believe this was part of my dollar thrift challenge. So honestly, I do not remember how much I paid for it at this point, but I remember finding it at my local buy-sell trade store, Uptown Cheapskate, and that was a great sale. So another buy-sell trade sale, but not too bad at all. The number 13 is a piece I found in Indiana, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I found it at a Goodwill. It was this New Tags Black Halo Joaquin wide leg textured jumpsuit in size 2. It was a green jumpsuit. This is my first time ever finding that brand, and I found it in the Midwest, and I listed it at $135, and this was a full price sale. So I sold it for $135. It sat for a while, but it eventually sold full price, and I made $108 from that dress. I believe it was only marked at like $8 because it was just marked as like a dress regular price sale. Not bad at all. Pretty good sale for me. And I know a lot of other resellers have talked about that brand since I found it. And so I had not heard of it when I found it, but Black Halo, their jumpsuits, their dresses, things like that can resell for a lot of good money. So I am now constantly on the lookout. I can't believe I found that piece that was new at tags though. That was an exciting find. So then let's move on to number 12. This is something that Jeremy sold on his Poshmark. And this was a Lily Pulitzer Eleonora silk dress in size extra large. And then I also put in Lily Pulitzer silk gold metallic. It sold for $135. And we made $108 at the end of the day. This was also, I believe, a part of my $1 thrift challenge. And I believe I found this at Uptown Cheapskate. And I used in-store credit. One of my favorite things to do in order to get things for cheaper from places that are like Plato's Closet or Buy Sell Trade, Buffalo Exchange, is I go to the bins and I find trendy looking pieces that are light. So I pay very, very little for those pieces. If you're paying $1.49 per pound, you're picking up a very light t-shirt, then you're paying less than $1. And then I take those things to those buy sell trade places. I sell them to them where they give me like $3 or $4 per item and sometimes more for in-store credit. I use the money as in-store credit. And so instead of me paying like $20 for a jacket or $20 for that dress, instead I'm using all my in-store credit where I only paid like $4 or $5 for the multiplication of my resources. It's a very interesting system, and it does lead you to having multiple bags of clothing in your car at all times, but it works. It makes it cheaper to find some of those nice items that you'll only really be able to find more often at those buy sell trade locations. So in my opinion, it's worth it, but it is kind of a complicated system. But this Lily Pulitzer dress was a great size. I think that's why it sold for so much money. The larger sizes from Lily Pulitzer can do really well. It was also made out of silk, and it was a very popular style, the Eleonora style from Lily Pulitzer. If you can find a maxi length dress from Lily Pulitzer, you are golden. Like, Lily Pulitzer dresses are sought after. I sell them quite frequently. But if you can find something with long sleeves or is a long dress or is a larger size, you're gonna be in better shape for sure. So Lily Pulitzer is one of those things that crops up a lot in the $180 range for my sales, but that is the biggest Lily Pulitzer sale I've had. So then we have another piece that I picked up from a buy sell trade store. I picked this up at Uptown Cheapskate, and it was this Jeff Gordon Chase authentic leather jacket in size medium. So I found this DuPont leather jacket. It was a NASCAR jacket. It was so cool. And the comps for these were pretty mixed, but I saw that it was selling for over $100 pretty frequently. So I was able to sell it on my Poshmark for $140, which is a great sale. I am very happy with that. And I made $112 at the end of the day. I think I bought this for $12. So I had about $100 worth of net profit on that piece. And those sorts of things, any leather jacket, I'm usually looking up when I see it out on the thrift, especially if it's cheap. And then also things that are more unique or sports oriented. A lot of sports things can go for amazing money. Since this video is everything that's sold for me over $100, eventually I would like to also make a video for you guys of what sells for $100 and then keep on going down, $75, $50, to give you guys a good idea of the different price points that things can sell for. But if you guys would like to see that video, make sure you hit subscribe and also let me know down in the comments so I do make those videos for you guys. Then the next thing that I sold, this is actually 3 different sales. These were an insane find. I got these all in the bins. I love the bins. It's my favorite place. And I think I've only talked about these once or twice before, but if you're new to my channel, you would not have heard about this. This happened probably a good year ago. I found this little pile of all of these Ariana Grande sweatshirts in the bins. There's also a, what was the other one that was with it? There's also one other sweatshirt that was with it, but I can't remember. It was a guy, maybe it was One Direction. No? I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody's put back pile. This reseller had folded all these pieces, put them back, decided they didn't want them, and guys, I swooped in. I was actually there with my mother-in-law, and I will never forget, they all 3 had stains on them, and my mother-in-law told me to leave them, and I said, no, I have a good feeling about them. I'm gonna pick them up anyway. It was $1.49 per pound, so I paid probably $2 per sweatshirt. And guys, the comps on these were rare Ariana Grande sweatshirts. They were all crew necks from her Sweetener tour. And so we sold all 3 of them for over $100. So the first one was this one that I think was purple. This one sold for $150 on Jeremy's Mercari. I sold one for $110 on my Mercari, and then I sold one for $100 on my Poshmark, all within like a week or 2. Like, they went quickly. They all had stains on them, and they still sold. Concert merch is an amazing seller, and these were all in the bins. So they made it there probably because they had stains on them, but these sold with stains for over $100 each. So from the one that sold for $150, we made $130.35. The one that sold for $110, we made $95.51. And the $100 sale, since it was Poshmark, we made $80. So much rather sell them on Mercari, that's for sure. But from all of those sweatshirts, we probably had $6 into them, and we sold them for almost $300 worth of profit, which is insane. So that is one of my favorite finds of all time, because it's one of those times where I just like trusted my gut, and I knew that even though they were stained, I felt like they still had worth. And I'm very happy that I did, because that was one of my best finds, I feel like, of all time. And I love that I can show you guys the things I find in the bins that are worth a lot of money, because I feel like that's just like so much more like exciting, isn't it? Like than if I found something that somebody else bought for a price from somebody at like a buy sell trade store. It's more exciting this way. Then number 9, something that sold for even more than that, is another bins pickup. And I found a Nintendo 3DS XL in red in the bins, which is crazy. I found it in a clothing bin at the very back of the bin. I was literally like in the bin, like trying to reach for it, you know? It was that kind of a thing. And I sold it for $160 on Mercari. So from a $160 sale, we made $139.06 from this little Nintendo 3DS XL. Good find. Like, I love picking up video games and video game systems. They just have a loyal following. People need to replace theirs that won't work anymore. They're not made anymore. So we made almost $140, and that thing was so little and definitely not a pound. So I probably paid $1 or less for it in the bins. And it also had Super Smash Brothers on the inside. It was such a great find. I was so excited about that. Then number 8, my favorite number, is this Free People by Jeffrey Campbell Preston platform ankle boots in a size 9. These I did pick up at my local buy sell trade store. I paid up for these and I didn't know if it was worth it. I paid $60 for these, but they did sell within, I think, 2 days, within a week for sure, for $170. So I made $136. So my net profit was only about $60, but it was a really quick sale. So I don't know if I would do that again. It's very scary to pay up for something like that. And my business is mostly based off of buying things for really cheap and then selling them for more. This was not buying, selling for cheap, but that's okay. It still did well. Number 7 was a pair of Christian Louboutin heels that I found at my local buy sell trade store. I don't think I even put these in a haul. Like, I found them, I listed them, and then I forgot to show them to you. But they sold for $175. If I would have waited and been more patient, I think I could have sold them for much more. So that is a warning to you. When you put up designer items or things that are really expensive, they can sit for a long time, and then it becomes very, very tempting to take lowball offers because it's still like $175, you know? So just be cautious. If you are listing things that are super expensive, you have to wait for the right buyer. So I sold those for $175 and I made $140. Originally, I think I had those listed at like $559. So probably shouldn't have taken that offer, but that's okay. From that, I mean, I think I paid something like $40 for those at the thrift. And so we made $100, but I definitely probably could have made more. That's okay. Then this next thing is something else that I found in the bins. I feel like most of my biggest finds are either coming from buy sell trade or the bins. It's not like any in between. So number 6 is this Theory Black 100% leather moto jacket. I found this in the bins and it actually had a tear on the inside of the jacket, and my mom sewed it for me. So thank you, Mom, because after I sewed it, we made the sale within a couple of weeks, I would say, for $175. And so from $175, we made $140, and that's something I probably paid $1 or $2 for in the bins, which is absolutely amazing. And then number 5 is also a bins pickup, and this is such an old sale from mine because you can tell from how short the title is. My entire title is off-white jeans. Like, that's definitely before Poshmark let you add more characters, and I didn't even have the size in the title. Like, what was I doing? But these I found in the bins in Pittsburgh. I found these on the same trip as that Eileen Fisher set, and we probably paid about $1 for these. This was at the end of the day. This whole place had been like scoured the whole day, and then I found a pair of off-white jeans. My only time I've ever found off-white, and they sold within one night. I listed them, I woke up to the offer, and they sold for $178. And then I made $142.40 overnight on $1 that I put into these jeans. So that was an amazing sale. This video is making me definitely want to go to the bins. Like, I might have to go later. We'll see. So that was number 5. Number 4 is this new without tags Mac DeGaulle split long sleeve faux wrap satin gown in size 14. I did buy this at Last Chance. That was in Chicago, so Nordstrom Rack's like outlet center. This is the only piece that I would say is kind of more like retail arbitrage, but it is like an outlet, so it's a very interesting situation. But I sold it on Mercari for $200, and so I made $173.90 off of this dress, but I paid $60 for it. So I made $113.90, but I did have to put a lot of money in up front. Luckily, it's sold in a timely manner. I think it only took me about a month to sell it, but you have to put more money in, so I feel like I would prefer the bins, honestly, in my opinion. But that was still a really good sale. It sold for $200. A $200 sale in general is a great sale. I'm happy with that. Then we're to the top 3 best sales that I've ever had. These all sold for over $300. So if you are interested in more like designer high-end pieces, these are those for you. I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. If you are, give it a thumbs up. Number 3 was this new with tags Christopher Kane women's chainmail lace dress in a size 2. It sold for $350. This sold, I think, in July of this year, so not too long ago, and we made $280 from this piece. I found it at a random thrift store for $40. It was new at tag, so they marked it up, but this dress retailed for like over $1,000. So the $350 that I sold it for was a good deal for the buyer. It was also a great deal for me. So from that $280, we probably made $240 of net profit, which is very, very good. I'm very excited about that. Then my number 2 sale of all time was an amazing find. I found this in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I walked into a thrift store 10 minutes before it closed, and the only thing I bought that day was this pair of Christian Louboutin Lou Spikes or Lotto high tops. These are insane. I cannot believe I found these still, and they were an amazing sale for me. But it's so funny to me because these were marked at what, I think $9.99, $10 on the shelf with all the shoes, and then next to them was a pair of shoes from Kohl's, like a pair of boots that they had marked at $12.99. So it was just like, what is the pricing at thrift stores nowadays? I don't get it, but I bought them for $10, and then I sold them for $380, and we made $304 at the end of the day. So I made about $290 from this pair of Christian Louboutins that I found at a Salvation Army in Scranton, Pennsylvania. If that is not your cue to go to a thrift store, even if it's only 10 minutes before they close, I don't know what will be, because that was an amazing find. For only 10 minutes of looking, I went straight to the shoe section. I saw those and I said, oh my gosh, these are coming with me for sure. Then my number 1 sale of all time. If you've been following me lately, then you would have seen me pick this up at 2nd Avenue. I paid $7.49 for this dress, but it was a vintage Jean Paul Gaultier Phoenix and Wave Japanese tattoo mesh maxi dress. It was in a size medium. I had it listed at $850. Something very similar to it had sold for that much very recently on eBay. But I accepted an offer for $500 on Poshmark. So this is my first ever thing I had to send to the Poshmark authentication, and it got authenticated. It was genuine Jean Paul Gaultier, and then it got sent off to my buyer, and I got a 5-star rating. So a $500 sale. From that sale, I made $400. So I did lose $100 to Poshmark, but I did get it authenticated in the process, and also it was a very expensive dress, and I only paid $7 for it. So from $400, we made about $393 in net profit, which is so good. And I feel like, I hope this is a very encouraging and relatable video. I am not paying a crazy amount for my items. Some of them, the $60 dress, that is a little bit crazy. A $40 dress, that's crazy to resell. But for the most part, my biggest sales have come from me just being consistent and looking. me going to the bins and just finding these amazing pieces based on feel. Like, I have invested in learning about brands and learning about my business, and it's been paying off. So that's been really exciting. And I'm hopeful that this is encouraging to you, that you don't have to spend $300 on a liquidation box in order to have a thriving reselling business. You can spend a couple of dollars at the bins and still be able to flip those things for hundreds of dollars. I think that is amazing. It's such a fun job to be able to dig through trash and find treasures. It's so much fun. So I hope you guys learned a few different brands from today's video. Hopefully you found this to be an encouragement to you too, that you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to have a business, and you don't have to compare yourself to other resellers that are making 6 figures from buying liquidation boxes. You can, find sustainable ways and thrift your pieces and still make a good living. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button. Also, let me know in the comments that you want to see more videos like this, and give the video a thumbs up. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and until the next video, bye.